Hello and welcome back to Take a Sip podcast. I'm Leche.
I'm Tito.
And today, Tito, let's start off. What are you drinking, dude?
I'm just drinking some wine, some Cabernet.
Cabernet? Oh,
yeah,
shit.
trying to keep it classy. You know, a glass a day keeps the doctor away. Was that it?
Yeah, sure. We'll go with that one. That sounds right to me. Sounds right to me.
Well, what about you? What are you drinking, bro?
I'm drinking an old fashioned. I had to make myself a cocktail today for sure.
Yeah, so. I think it's been a while since we both had like alcoholic drinks at the same time.
Oh yeah, and these are like, I feel like these aren't even light drinks either. They're like a little bit more heavy hitter shits.
Yeah, well, I mean, because we've been having either a coffee or a weird workout regimen of just like water or Gatorade with us.
Yeah, it's been kind of weird with all that shit. Yeah, but since we're talking about drinks, dude, we'll get into this first story real quick. So, for people who don't know, especially here around Massachusetts and stuff like that, the Boston Beer Company has partnered up with Pepsi-Cola or PepsiCo, correction on that, to launch a new, pretty much hard cider freaking Mountain Dew drinks, like alcoholic ones and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and they look pretty cool. Not gonna lie to you.
The very the design reminds me almost like of I think it's like Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
The Tom Hardy, like the eagle. You have your regular...
All the Tom Hardy shirts and shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Like your regular...
I thought you were going to say it, but I'll say it for you, okay? It reminds me of Destiny.
Oh, I didn't even realize.
The
I
snake.
didn't even realize.
I was like,
is that a lion or is that a bear?
That is... I don't know if it's a bear, but it looks like a lion.
No, I didn't even realize that. Oh my gosh.
So, I was like, oh shit, dude. I was gonna notice that real quick. I'm surprised you did it.
I didn't. I really
caught that
didn't.
shit off the bat. I saw the eagle and then the snake. I'm like, oh, dude, it's a done deal. Like, who cares what the middle one is?
I was actually more surprised because I never saw this type of like collaboration happening. You get me?
Oh yeah, this is a weird kind of, like,
it is.
Mountain Dew coming out with their first alcoholic beverages, dude.
And apparently zero sugar. So I want to know how that's gonna taste, because normally zero sugar stuff is very iffy. It's on that line of like it's either good or it could be better.
Either shit or it's good.
And it's actually, I believe they're just coming out with these 3 flavors that we're seeing here, of just its regular green that everyone knows of, the black cherry, and even the watermelon.
Interesting.
I mean, the can designs look actually pretty cool.
Yeah, they look like, what is it called? One of those IPAs, weird IPAs that you would get that are like local brews and shit. They look like that.
Oh, yeah.
You get what I mean? Sure. Like the can looks all like fancy design and stuff like that, but they make it over the top so it stands out and stuff like that. It literally almost looks like that. Yeah.
And I mean, for those who listen and are of legal drinking age, apparently these are 5% ABV.
Well, baby stuff.
Yeah, and well, that's true. My favorite beer is a 9%. It's a 9.4, I think. So yeah, I mean, even though it is based in Boston Beer Co. and Pepsi, I mean, it is going to get manufactured here, but it will be shipped to different locations across the United States. So keep an eye open at your local
liquor store.
Liquor store. Yeah, I couldn't think of liquor store.
Liquor store, yo. Some places they even sell them like at Walmart or some crazy shit like that. So definitely keep an eye out for them.
Florida.
I mean, this definitely we will get these. I feel like we should get these.
Oh, 100%.
And like do a little mini like, oh, you know, which one's our favorite, or if they're really good or really bad, you know, like pretty much rank them and like do a little tasting on them when they actually get like brought out and stuff like that.
Ooh, that'd be cool. Or we could like we would do an episode drinking these, and then we actually do like a weird taste testing for just like a regular YouTube video, we could say.
Yeah, a little fun side project for people. Definitely keep an eye out on the YouTube channel for people for those.
Subscribe.
Yeah, so definitely keep an eye out for that. We'll post if anything comes up on that end.
Even on the Instagram, we'll probably post it on the Instagram too if we.
We'll definitely put it on the Instagram for people to know. So,
yeah, for sure. And well, you're hosting. You'll take the
reins. Well, going from that, we're gonna go back into the nerdy side. Here we go, dude. This is when the weeb in us comes out a little bit. So I think earlier this week on Monday or Sunday, they brought out a trailer for the official release trailer for season 6 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, excuse me, called Stone Ocean. And I think this is the first out of all the seasons so far where we're going to have a female protagonist and stuff like that. So it's going to be very interesting to see where this goes in terms. So I know, spoiler alert for people who haven't watched it, this is Jotaro's, which is the main character or the main antagonist of seasons 3 and 4. He is going to be, it's his daughter pretty much going to be the main protagonist for this one, for season 6. So I definitely all of these shows literally intertwine within each other and stuff like that a lot, which I find fascinating because it's all one universe, technically speaking, of everything that's happening. That's why I really enjoy watching it. And I know Tito hasn't really watched it.
No, I've seen a lot of memes, and you always bring it up to me on watching it, and you always show me stupid, funny little clips here and there.
Yeah, it's a bizarre show. I mean, they call it bizarre for a reason, Bizarre Adventures for a reason.
Yeah, and I've seen clips scrolling through Facebook sometimes, so it's definitely on my anime to watch list because that list just keeps on getting longer and longer.
Tell me about it. Mine's too, dude. And I don't want to front, dude. I did not finish season 5 yet, which is called Golden Wind. I'm only halfway through it. It's good, and it takes place in Paris. So, I'm sorry, not Paris, in Italy specifically, because they travel around Italy a lot. So it's going to be very, very interesting, and we'll see where this one goes and where it starts and all that stuff. So it's going to be really cool to watch.
No, for sure. And I kind of want to piggyback off of that a little bit, sticking with the anime stuff. I didn't post this for you to see. I completely forgot to. But apparently Overlord, another anime that I got you hooked on.
So, and I watched the entire thing. Yo.
Yeah.
That shit is good.
So Overlord, just for a super quick intro to it. It is a virtual reality game that people have logged in over for a long time of its release. And they're announcing that the servers are officially going to go off. So the main character that you are of the anime, he decides to stay on with his VR headset up until the ending of till the server shut down. And I mean, that happens and everything. But then what he realizes is that the entire video game, he gets trapped in the entire video game world.
Yeah.
Where all the NPCs and all the abilities that are in the game are actually now his real life. So it's him trying to fit into the role that he is in this game without letting anybody really know who he is, and him trying to figure out if he can even escape.
Yeah, that escape, or that he's the only one that's actually stuck in the video game.
Mm-hmm. And season 4, because there are only 3 seasons so far that you could watch on Crunchyroll, and I believe on whatever other anime site that they have. Season 4 just got announced. And it will apparently be sometime next year in 2022 because the manga will be next year in 2022, and then obviously even like in My Hero, as chapters come out, episodes will follow up, hopefully.
Well, I think the My Hero series, I think it's like fucking seasons ahead, and when the actual manga, it's like literally in fucking season like 10 right now or some bullshit like that. And we're barely watching season 5 right now. So
yeah.
So it's like it's usually like that when it comes to like them writing it at the same time, them drawing the animation and stuff like that. It takes time, you know.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I was thinking of like Boruto. Boruto's on that.
Oh, same thing.
Right now.
Oh, Boruto. Boruto comes out at the same time.
Super
behind. Really close. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like literally within the week of them doing like the manga coming out, the show 1 week later comes out, like that episode or something like that. I don't know if it's a week.
I think it's like 3 mangas behind or something like that.
Yeah.
Within like once the new one shows up.
Really close.
Yeah, it's super close.
Unlike these other ones. These other ones are kind of behind.
Yeah.
One Piece, for example.
Let's not get into One Piece.
1,000 episodes. Oh shit, dude.
So if you haven't watched Overlord and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, those are 2 animes we both definitely recommend on watching, because they're either super, like they both have their humor, they both have their serious sides, they both have super crazy cool art styles to them, like very different. One is very dark and the other is very comic-y, which is super perfect for like the types of anime that they are.
It's a good blend of like comedy and despair.
for real. So if those have not been on your anime list, or if you are an anime noob and like need recommendations from 2 weebs, as Techno introduced us, there you go. There are 2 of them.
So going off of that, you know, I'll let you take the lead on this next one a little bit.
Yes. So we'll give you guys over the last 2 weeks, we've been talking about the Activision Blizzard lawsuit that has been happening. And we have been giving you guys little updates, mostly because that is one big company, not only that freaking Bungie was able to get away from on time before all of these allegations came out. But they're also the head of major games that are out right now. And I know we spoke about this last week. Diablo, the game, has a massive gaming community out there. And just recently, excuse me, the director for Diablo 4 officially stepped down from the studio because of the labor abuse allegations. He did not want to be he did not want his name associated with what was going on. I don't think specifically his name was mentioned in any of the situations that was happening. But obviously, with what is going on right now with that industry, he did not want his name currently associated with the game, with Activision Blizzard.
Yeah.
And
he didn't want none of that bad press coming its way as well, in case his name gets tossed around. Him and his 2 other colleagues, by the looks of it.
Yes, his 2 other colleagues, Jonathan LeCraft, who is a lead designer for World of Warcraft. No, sorry. Jonathan Kraft is a World of Warcraft developer. And Jesse McCree, who is the lead designer for World of Warcraft. And so much so that Jesse McCree was such, I guess, a big personality at Activision Blizzard that they took his persona, you could say, and made him an actual character in Overwatch. So if you were an Overwatch player, that's how you know this name of Jesse McCree. He is a DPS character, but he is based off of this actual living person. Even by like full name is this character's name. Jesse McCree.
It's such a dope name, dude. If even like in actuality, like I would love to have a fucking name, Jesse McCree. You sound like a fucking badass with that type of name, bro. Like a Western, like fucking cowboy name.
Yeah. So after Luis Barriga, Jesse McCree, and Jonathan LeCraft announced they were no longer with the company, a spokesperson for Activision Blizzard did make a comment that, yes, obviously these three big people were leaving the company and it is a big hit for the company, but they do currently have people stepping up to the plate to fill in these spots to still try to get these games developed or moving forward, or still like have these games rolling out with whatever updates and buffs that need to get done. And I mean, yeah, it is a rough time, not just for the gaming community, but we also have to remember there are living physical people behind this stuff right now. So yes,
hurting their own people, dude. Like this whole situation is literally hurting their own people that work with them. So it sucks, you know.
Yeah, and we mentioned it before. They haven't announced anything yet of delays for any games or anything, but it was just time before people started leaving. Besides the actual full walkout that happened 2 weeks ago, so I mean, there is still no news of it actually being delayed or whatever for Diablo 4, Overwatch 2, or any setbacks for World of Warcraft. But yeah, that's just something we wanted to like put out there. This is still happening for Activision Blizzard, and I don't know, like not to say don't get your hopes up for these games still coming out on time, but just be aware of what is happening behind these public closed doors, in a way to put it.
Yeah. It's kind of weird to say it like that, but yeah. No, you're right. Because who knows what happens, dude. Only the lawmakers, I mean, the attorneys know what's going on right now.
Yeah, for sure.
At this point.
And I mean, they said it. There have been a lot of lawyers trying to get in right now, a change of over company that was in charge of the entire issue that they then replaced, because that company has its own personal background issues as well. So I mean, we don't know if there's still companies being looked at, or what are the stages of this lawsuit going on right now. But yeah, I mean, giving you guys the bad news early so we could move on to some actual good news that I will
hype news, dude.
Yes. It's actually like super fun news that both of us were actually excited to.
I mean, this is kind of nuts, honestly. So, I mean, fuck, where do we even begin with this? So they finally announced, I guess, so they confirmed a couple of months ago that Netflix was going to do a live action series of one of our favorite, I would say one of our favorites, because you could agree solemnly with me. And if 100%. You don't, you're wrong, Tito. Yeah. One of our favorite. It is an anime. I don't know if people think it's an anime or a cartoon, whatever it may be. It's a hybrid, I guess, then of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yes.
So Netflix got the rights to actually, make a live series for this show. And they finally revealed to us the cast, pretty much, like the main four characters of the series, dude. And I'm actually happy with the people they chose. It's like representation, bro. It's like so fucking good, dude. they actually chose Asian descents to actually play these characters. Because I mean, if people who haven't watched this series, most of that show is very, Asian inspired, like spiritual stuff from their culture and stuff like that. It's just, it is right for them to actually choose Asian actors and actresses to play the characters.
Down to the fighting styles of what each bending style is. Like water bending, earth bending, fire bending, and air bending are different like fighting styles that descend from these Asian countries and Asian history. So obviously, like you mentioned, they bringing in a cast of actual Asian descended actors because everyone remembers the disaster of what the movie, quote unquote, movie remake that happened a few years ago.
Yeah,
where
that was a
people were mad because it was completely whitewashed. Straight down to like
Aang himself,
Aang, Sokka, like you couldn't take the movie seriously, and the bending was the animation or graphics was just ridiculous,
like at all. Like it was lame, dude. Mm-hmm. I gotta lie to you, it was bad. CGI was fucking horrible. Like it was laughable, dude. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh, 100%.
It was pretty bad. But dude, just seeing this just makes me happy. I'm like, yes, dude, they're actually doing it justice, dude. Mm-hmm. Like I'm hoping like the story, the plot is like, I mean, it's not gonna be, fucking how the show is, like the animation cartoon is and whatever. It's not gonna be like that, it's gonna be more grounded. I just hope they actually have some decent like CGI and stuff like that when it comes to the abilities, like the bending and stuff like that. Like it doesn't look too fake, but at the same time, I just don't want it to look like fucking Sharknado, type of bullshit.
Your favorite movie.
Like, God damn it, dude. I mean, that's the point for that movie is literally it's so bad that it's good, type of thing. I don't want that to happen to this show.
So the top 4 actors that they mentioned are 3 protagonists and 1 antagonist, made protagonist of the show.
Ruin it for people.
We have Gordon Cormier as Aang. He was in The Stand and Lost in Space. I hope I'm pronouncing these names correctly.
Yes, excuse us if we don't pronounce these names. Yeah.
Yes.
Like we're trying our best.
We have Kia Wentio as Katara, who was in Annie with an E.
Okay, yeah.
Ian Osley, who was in Physical and 13 Reasons Why.
Most people might recognize Sokka. Him from there. Yeah.
Yeah, 13 Reasons Why. Big show. And as Zuko, Prince Zuko, we have Dallas Liu, who is also going to be coming out in the Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings movie that is also soon to be coming out, which is also another big movie that everyone's like super anticipated for because it's the first. Yeah. I don't want to say it like this, but it's also like the first superhero movie with a massive Asian American cast. You got me. Besides, the last one was like what, Crazy Rich Asians or something. So Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings with Simu Liu and Awkwafina, who's another super funny actress. I guess she's also a rapist or she's a singer.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is just a small cast so far for Avatar: The Last Airbender. Obviously, there's many more characters that still. Well, it's just depending on how far they're putting the adaptation from the books and the shows into the actual movie. So
yeah. But so far, man, I give this a fucking big thumbs up. I'm like, all right, cool. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm okay with this.
Yes.
Like, so far, I'm happy with the choices they made, so far. So,
as big Avatar fans that we are.
I just hope they don't ruin the story too much. That's the shit, right?
Yes.
Like, I want, like, the main, they could glance over some things here and there and stuff like that. but definitely I want the main story to still be intact, if that makes sense, right? Like, I want to see Zuko's actual inner struggles, like him trying to find himself and stuff like that, like they did in the actual show. Like, I want that. Like, I want to see it like represented in the live action show, because that for me was a big turning stone and like added so much depth, to that character and his transformation from being, someone who was trying to get the approval of his dad and stuff like that, to actually standing on his own 2 feet and finding his inner, his inner self, pretty much. Kind of weird and inspiring, no lie.
And not just that, but even changing an entire nation almost from being super what's the word, like crazy and rude to the rest of these nations, to making peace and changing the mindset of all these people. Like,
yeah, it's gonna be crazy, dude. I think they will do it justice.
Yes.
By the looks of it, they're on the right track. Hopefully, they just keep going with it, And talking about going on the right track.
Sorry, because even I just want to hit on it a little bit, because even Netflix has. I'm not trying to say Netflix has everything that they've put out has been great and amazing, but they definitely have been learning and paying attention to what people are saying on what is working, what doesn't work when they make these remakes or their own original shows or whatever. Because I mean, they've definitely been learning a lot, and this is just one proof, like a little bit of proof of how far
they're learning from their mistakes and stuff like that. Like, and hopefully they keep it up, dude. Honestly,
yes.
But going after that, from that good news to another good news, and this comes from our shit because it's a video game. So they're gonna
it's a tabletop game.
Oh, tabletop game. Sorry, it's a role playing game, like LARPing.
Actually, if you don't mind me taking this,
go for it. Go for it.
The best way I could put this is, well, if you made it this far, you're a fan of Avatar: The Last Airbender, as we are, and this is gonna cross Avatar: The Last Airbender with the best thing I could describe it as is Dungeons and Dragons. Because there is an app that you will also be able to play with this game, pretty much to create your character sheets, because you're able to create your character not just from the 4 basic elements or bendings that we see of water, air, earth, and fire, but you also get to be a warrior or a swordsman, kind of like Sokka is, that we've always realized, or even a technologist from Republic City that we see on in The Legend of Korra, continuing the story of Aang. So you will be playing, or will have abilities, I guess, from all those 6 different tribes, you could say. And as you create your character, even like as we see in Dungeons and Dragons, there are books or storylines that the dungeon master can follow or to lead the story moving forward, which you will be also having like little books of Kyoshi's era, Roku's era, the 100-Year War era, Aang's era, and even Korra's era, which will pretty much just give like a little detailed story that the dungeon master, I want to say, or the avatar could lead the warriors through. And you'll have your set abilities, and it'll come with rules and mechanics, stats. It is a Kickstarter that you could go find. It's literally Avatar Legends, the role-playing game. Their goal was 50,000. They're already at $5 million. So
yeah, they well over exceeded
over 100 times what they were looking for.
Literally,
they got it,
dude. When I saw that, I'm like, yo, this is fucking nuts, dude. People really want this, like, honestly.
Well, again, it's not just the nostalgia factor of Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's like I said, it's also role playing. You are Dungeons and Dragons, because you will even get, like, obviously you'll have your archer, your assassin, your paladin, your mage or your wizard or whatever you want to call them, your rogue. You'll also get those as, like, I guess they call them the adamant, the bold, the guardian, the hammer, the idealist, so on and so forth, along with whatever you chose to be your bending ability or your warrior or your technologist or whatever. And I mean, it's very detailed. They have so much information. The fact that there's an app that goes along with the game. It will come with a dice pack, I guess, which looks beautiful. The dices look incredible.
Yeah, they do.
If you scroll down.
Yeah, they look really nice, honestly.
Very beautifully designed. I mean, the whole show was, but I think this is cool. I mean, I love how their biggest package, their second biggest package that they have is called the My Cabbages retail seller, and it's the picture of the cabbage man. So yeah, you could donate from the minimum of $20 to the maximum of $200. Obviously, each donation rank within each one is going to have different things added on as the packages get higher. And I mean, yeah, you'll definitely be interested in this if you are a big RPG tabletop type of person, which I know I am. So I think it's cool, and you get to see like the team and even if you are international, there are shipping prices that you will be able to see at the bottom of the entire Kickstarter page. I will definitely try to leave the link at the bottom or in the information section of all of this. So, I mean, what do you think? I kind of took over a little bit.
It's kind of nuts. I'm just looking at like how many people bought like the biggest package, which is called the Flying Bison package, like the pledge for it. They literally have, just in this package alone, they have more than a quarter of their actual total backers in this. So their total backers right now is at 43,000, you want to say 43K?
Yeah, I think so.
And they have about 10.5, roughly 10.5 backers just on the $200 Flying Bison package. It's kind of nuts to me. I'm like, wow, this really just shows like this is something people want to see, play, and do. Like, it's really interesting, honestly. Like, it really, I mean, of course, it's complicated to us because we probably don't know it. But we haven't played Dungeons and Dragons like that, or like at all.
I've always,
for example, like D&D. I know people are very into D&D and stuff like that.
Especially right now with the game that just came out too.
Yeah, exactly. So this might be like another game for them to play. If they get bored of that, they could go and do this now. Like, it's definitely, it's an interesting game, honestly. It's a nice read too. Literally reading all the stuff, like all the additional stuff, and see how they actually put the game together and stuff like that.
When you see stuff like this and how detailed it is and how much they're actually giving like the value of the stuff, that's how you know the creators of this
are for the fans. They're not
are fans themselves of what they're creating. It's not just another project for them to put their name on and make an extra few bucks. Like, they're legit fans of what is happening.
Not a scam.
It's so funny too. If you look at the team of the creators and all that stuff, they even have the borders around their pictures of what they chose. of being of like the main of their 4 original nations. Yeah, so like the Airbenders, it's cool seeing that as well. Like,
man, I don't know.
It's fun.
This would be interesting to see for sure. Like, I want to see a group of people actually play this and see like how it is and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's really interesting, dude.
Yeah. Oh, I guess there is. Hold on, I guess there is a little channel called High Rollers where they are playing a little bit of the game, which, if I'm correct, those are some of the creators of the team. So I guess they're playing right now, just to like give an example. Again, it's High Rollers on YouTube, and I do believe they also have a Twitch where they will continue playing a little bit. Oh yeah, I have heard of them. I have seen them occasionally, like just scrolling through YouTube or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, it sounds familiar.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, definitely go watch that if you want a little teaser, I guess, of what the game actually is. And I mean, that's it for me.
I mean, yeah, that's all I have for that, for sure, dude. So.
You need to learn this. This is what?
I know.
Episode 41. You have 9 episodes to write it down and learn it, bro.
The outro, dude. It always gets me, dude. It always gets me.
And it's funny because
full outro.
I mean, we're not gonna make this a visual one for the YouTube, but for those of you guys who are like listening or whatever, he points at me and mouths outro. They do the outro to signal that I can do the outro.
Like, do it, please. SOS.
All right, Leche, where can people find you?
Damn, dude, this hurts, bro. Don't lie. It hurts my integrity a little bit. But people can find me at on Instagram at Leche Minuesa, or you guys can follow me at Twitch at TechnoFreak95.
And then you guys could follow me on Instagram and on Twitch at OneAlphaPenguin.
Penguin.
I haven't been streaming lately. I mean, I've been in school and I just started work, so my sleep schedule is a little off because I am doing overnight shifts.
Yeah, I was gonna say a little is an understatement.
But I will definitely try to stream at least once a week or twice a week, depending on how I'm feeling. But besides that, you guys could follow the podcast at Instagram.com/ takeasip_pod. You guys could also subscribe and follow us at youtube.com/takeasip. As always, the logo for the podcast, it is the logo on all the social medias and on the YouTubes. So go follow, like, subscribe, leave some comments. Tell us if you guys are liking all of this or not. Please share it with friends. We would like to make the community bigger. Somebody out there must think we're funny or informative, if that's what you want to call us.
Yeah, it's more like an opinion piece, honestly, at this point.
Yeah, I mean, we would like to expand this little group that we have.
Yeah, definitely.
And I mean, if we get high enough on listeners, I'm definitely a big proponent of merch. I've always loved merch. I've shown Techno a few designs, or I've told him a couple of ideas that I have if we do get to that point, which I definitely want to do. So if you guys are up for that, also let us know.
Yeah, definitely let us know. Definitely intrigued to see how that looks.
Mm-hmm. And as always, drink some water, go outside, get some fresh air, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
See you guys.